This got to be a joke. Kelly Stamps is not anti-black. In a world where influencers are always trying to keep up appearances, Kelly Stamps is as refreshing as a glass of sweet tea on a sweltering southern day. But recently, some folks have been throwing shade, accusing her of being anti-black. I mean, come on, if you've seen her videos, you know she's anything but. Take, for instance, that hilarious but oh so real video she made about her experience trying to move to Georgia. Remember how she clapped back at that shady guy who tried to take her money? That red reminded me of my aunt, my mother, and my grandmother all rolled into one, getting right to business and shutting the nonsense down. Before we get ahead of ourselves, though, let's take a minute to answer a burning question. Who is Kelly Stamps, and why should we be talking about her? Well, grab your favorite snack, sit back, and get ready for some friendly gossip, life lessons, and good old-fashioned fun, because we're about to dive into the world of Kelly Stamps. Buckle up. This is going to be one entertaining ride. Who is Kelly Stamps anyway? Kelly Stamps is a YouTuber, social media influencer, and all-around charismatic force who rose to fame by doing one thing incredibly well, being herself. She's not your typical influencer, and that's what makes her so fascinating. With her laid-back, offbeat humor, minimalist lifestyle, and unfiltered opinions, Kelly has captured the hearts of her fans. Her content ranges from apartment tours and financial advice to dating woes and hilarious rants about everyday life. She's that one friend who isn't afraid to tell you the truth, even if it stings a little. And if you don't have a friend like that, don't worry, watching Kelly's videos will make you feel like you do. She's funny, quirky, and completely unafraid to call out the nonsense she encounters, whether it's on the streets of New York City or in the comments section of her videos. But lately, Kelly has been the target of some accusations that have people raising their eyebrows. Some claim she's anti-black, or doesn't embrace her culture enough. Well, if you've ever watched her content, you know these claims are laughable. Let's talk about that, shall we? The Georgia clapback. A moment of realness. If you need any proof that Kelly Stamps is far from anti-black, just take a look at her now iconic, moving to Georgia, story. Picture it. Kelly's trying to make a big move, minding her own business, when she encounters someone who tries to take advantage of her financially. Big mistake. Huge. You see, Kelly doesn't play when it comes to her money, and she didn't hold back when calling out this guy's nonsense. Watching that video, I couldn't help but think, this girl is a Stamps through and through. It was as if my own family members, my aunt, my mom, and my grandmother, were channeling their energies through Kelly. She laid down the law in a way that only someone who knows what it's like to be black in America could. She knew when to push back, how to keep her cool, and when to deliver a read that would leave the guy speechless. Kelly wasn't just defending herself, she was standing up for every person who's ever been underestimated or mistreated. It was a true, you got the wrong one today, moment, and honestly, we were all here for it. Kelly showed that she could handle herself, no matter who was trying to come for her. And the best part, she did it with humor, grace, and just enough sass to remind us that she wasn't someone to mess with. The Stamps approach. Channeling your inner auntie. If there's one thing we can learn from Kelly, it's how to channel our inner auntie when life throws curveballs our way. You know the type. The auntie who knows how to stretch a dollar, who can sense a scam from a mile away, and who has a comeback ready for anyone foolish enough to test her. Kelly's got that auntie energy, and it's one of the many reasons her fans love her. She's the auntie who'll tell you to save your money, stop eating out every night, and maybe think twice before dating that guy who seems nice but has no ambition. She's also the auntie who'll make you laugh until you're crying, because life's too short to be serious all the time. And honestly, don't we all need a little bit of that in our lives? Kelly's approach to dealing with life's messiness is something we could all learn from, especially when it comes to dealing with people who don't have our best interests at heart. She reminds us to set boundaries, stay true to ourselves, and never let anyone play us for a fool. Why the anti-black accusations miss the mark? Now, let's talk about these accusations of Kelly being anti-black. The internet can be a wild place, where people are quick to judge and even quicker to cancel. But these claims don't hold water, and here's why. Kelly Stamps has never shied away from talking about her experiences as a black woman. She's open about the challenges she's faced, from navigating predominantly white spaces to dealing with microaggressions and stereotypes. She's also talked about the beauty and pride she feels in her culture. Some people might get confused because Kelly doesn't fit into the stereotypical mold of what they think a black influencer should be. She's a minimalist, she's quirky, she doesn't always listen to the most popular music, and she doesn't make content that panders to trends. But that doesn't make her any less black. If anything, it makes her even more authentic, because she's being true to herself. Being black isn't a monolith, and Kelly knows that better than anyone. She represents the diversity within blackness, the fact that we can be nerdy, minimalist, adventurous, and offbeat. She's here to remind us that we don't all have to look, sound, or act the same to be proud of who we are. And if someone can't understand that, well, that's their problem, not Kelly's. Friendly gossip and lessons from Kelly Stamps. Now, let's get into some friendly gossip, shall we? One of the things that makes Kelly's content so entertaining is the way she shares her personal experiences, whether it's a crazy encounter in a new city or a date gone wrong. Remember that time she talked about the guy who wouldn't stop talking about crypto during their entire date? I mean, who hasn't been on a date like that? The way she told the story, though, had us all laughing and cringing at the same time. Kelly isn't afraid to tell it like it is, and that's why we love her. She's also not afraid to share her lessons, even if they're a little embarrassing. From awkward dates to money mishaps, Kelly has a way of turning her own experiences into teachable moments for her viewers. She's the friend who'll tell you, girl, I've been there, let me tell you what not to do. And that's exactly what we need sometimes. Life isn't always pretty, and we all make mistakes. Kelly's here to remind us that it's okay to laugh at ourselves and learn from the messiness of life. Kelly Stamps. More than just an influencer. At the end of the day, Kelly Stamps is more than just an influencer. She's a storyteller, a role model, and a source of much-needed comic relief. She doesn't pretend to have all the answers, but she's always willing to share what she's learned along the way. She's real, relatable, and unapologetically herself. And for those who might still be on the fence, wondering if Kelly is anti-black, because she doesn't fit into a neat little box, take a step back and ask yourself why you feel that way. Blackness is not a monolith, and there's room for all of us, including people like Kelly, who march to the beat of their own drum. Instead of trying to put her in a box, maybe we should take a page from her book and embrace our own individuality. Wrapping it up. Channel your inner Stamps. So, the next time you find yourself in a situation where someone's trying to take advantage of you, whether it's a shady landlord, a pushy salesman, or just a random person who thinks they can play you, take a deep breath and channel your inner Kelly Stamps. Remember that clapback energy, the kind that knows when to stand up for itself and won't be taken for a fool. Whether you're moving to a new city, navigating a difficult relationship, or just trying to figure out what to do next, Kelly's got some advice that's worth taking to heart. Be yourself, stand your ground, and don't let anyone make you feel like you're less than. And above all else, remember to laugh, even when things get a little messy. After all, life's too short to take everything so seriously. So, here's to Kelly Stamps, the auntie, the friend, the queen of the clapback. May we all find a little bit of her energy in ourselves, and may we never forget that sometimes, the best way to handle life's challenges is to laugh, read some One for Filth when necessary, and keep it moving.